Welcome back, everyone. It's Kareem here today. We're talking about your sales process. Sales process, what the heck is that? The process, the systematic way that you have, it's pretty much cookie cutter that you got to do it this way, that way, and this way all the time, every time, consistently. It doesn't matter who you're giving an estimate to or where or when or why, or doesn't matter. You're going to do it the same way every time. Why? Because this is actually what helps us to scale. We're going to be able to do these things a lot quicker, a lot more systematically if we actually have a system in place. We have a way to just keep doing the same thing over and over. Not only that, we're going to include in there follow-ups and returning calls and just handling objections, the normal sales stuff. This is something that's sorely lacking when it comes to just people generally, business owners, new business owners, just anybody in business generally. What seems to separate those who make tons of sales and those who do not make tons of sales generally are systems. In other words, like I just said, I'll repeat it here. You have a systematic way of acquiring clients, getting to them, qualifying them first over the phone, because you don't just want to sit there and waste your time with anybody showing up just to, one of the good things to squeeze in there, we're talking about a sales process, is to just ask them what their budget is, like, immediately. you know like, you want to go ahead and set an appointment with them. Before we even get there, we need to know the budget. We need to know all of these things. What you don't want to do is just, let's say you're taking somebody who is not shopping by value, for instance. Let's say you might charge more than everybody else. This is how you avoid racing to the bottom, by the way. Going to make this brief. So, people are going looking on Thumbtack, House, Home Advisor, places like that. They're not necessarily getting the information themselves. So they don't know what to look for. They don't know what the cost should be. They haven't measured the room. They haven't, whatever the heck it is. And so now they just want to get the problem solved. But now what they're doing by having, like, the problem with, like, Angie Thumbtack, all these places, is that they'll sell the same lead to everybody. And so, like, it's three, four, five people dogpiling on this one poor homeowner. And so they're not spoiled for choice. They have an abundance of options, and now they're going to pick the cheapest option to get the work done. Generally, that's just nature. That's human nature, right? Like, we've seen nature shows. The lion chases and tackles the smallest, like, wildebeest in the back. It's not, like, this is throughout nature. Throughout nature, it's like you get to pick off the baby. You go for the easy win, and the easy win with the least amount of energy would be, taking it back to the context of finding somebody to do your contracting work, is have the work done for the least amount, right? All things considered. So jumping back forward now to why you want to do things like marketing and provide value before they even get there, is somebody who's searching for this stuff is like, they kind of pre-sell themselves, and this is a way for you to pre-sell them on closing before you even show up. Like, hey, what's your budget? What's the time frame you're looking to get this thing done in? Yada, yada, yada. That's probably one of the most important things right there, the money talk. Do not avoid the money talk, because what you want to do is weed out the people who are just tire kickers anyway. Like, you want to not be able to have just somebody waste your time, and you go out there and, you try to get this business, but they got like 30 other calls from contractors in the past 24 hours, and they're just like, oh, I'm just, I'll get back to you. They're not getting back to you. Or I gotta take it up with my wife or my husband. They're not gonna take it up with their wife or their husband. Or if they do, they already have, they've already picked a favorite in their head. You would have a systematic way that you can do the most with the least amount of effort. You can weed out the people, as far as you're concerned, to you, that are not going in the direction that you would prefer to have the business relationship going. So if you see somebody that's shopping based on price, it's a race to the bottom in that case. And you know what you bring, you give value, you're providing a lot of things that might not necessarily be provided by your competition. Hey, you want to charge, as is that is the case, go for it. Now, at risk of making this video too long, I'm just going to bring it all home here. In summation, have a sales process. Why? Save yourself time. energy. When you show up, you're more likely to close the sale. This involves doing things such as creating content, providing value, asking the right questions, and setting expectations early and often before you ever step foot on anybody's property, in their living room, in their yard, and you have the pencil tucked behind your ear. All of these things need to happen to drive you forward to signing of the contract. With that, it's Kareem. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Peace.